of South Africa, but so far the slippery and muddy conditions have been kind to Marc Cronje, who opened up a massive 33-second lead in just 34 kilometers. Vecken is ahead of Kemmel and Habig, while names like Kuhn, Van Niekerk and Du Plessis have already disappeared from the leaderboard. After the break, the remaining crews tackle the longest stage in South African rallying. Will the car survive it? Will someone fall off? Or will the outcome of the rally be decided in one single stage? The stages are slippery, and the gamble to run on wet weather tires meant the end of the road for some, while it paid off for others. Marc Cronje drove brilliantly to catch the competition off guard and has a comfortable 33-second lead.
I got lucky a couple of times. I think we made the right tyre choice, and the other guys are struggling a bit. They went a bit too conservative. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we've still got a long way to go.
We've only had 2 stages and already a few casualties, and now the guys will have to go and face the toughest challenge in South African rallying. Stage 3 of Jessyville is 60 kilometers long, which means that the guys will not only have to prepare the cars mechanically, but the drivers will also have to prepare themselves mentally.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mental thing, I think. You know, you just have to start pushing right from the start.
Yeah, I think what one needs to do is try and keep your concentration up.
Well, usually it's difficult to find the right pace. You know, if you go too quick, you might damage the car. If you go too slow, you're going to lose a lot of time.
You just got to go, man. The oaks are so close. So if you wait a little bit, it's too late.
And this is why. At 60 kilometers, Jessyville is by far the longest single stage in South African rallying. In 2008, Hergen Vecken dominated the stage and proved that the leader after Jessyville will be favourite to win the entire event. So there's a lot riding on the outcome of this next 60 kilometers.
Marc Cronje and Robert Paisley would have loved to add a bit more time to their already comfortable 33-second lead, but the Castrol Toyota Young Gun does not have fond memories of Jessyville. A problem with his gearbox halted his 2008 challenge, and the same fate was about to strike again. After 35 of the 60 kilometers, a small component in the French-built Sadif gearbox broke, leaving the Urus stuck in 5th gear.
Maximum crest. What's the gears?
Yeah.
And maybe it's that thing that shifted again. Maximum crest, mid left, 1 here.
Something's come off.
18, left 7 into caution, right line tight. Doesn't want to change. And left 5.
And I nursed it, Robert.
No, it didn't go fast down there. There was nothing wrong.
Cronje dropped around 4 minutes and out of the lead.
We had a great run, but we've got a problem with the gear lever. Oh.
Yeah, don't worry.
I don't know how I'm going to get out of here.
So far, JP Dancer and Andre Vermeulen have had a season to forget, with pure bad luck preventing them from reaching the end in any of the previous 3 rallies. But this time, the Total Evolution team was determined to change their luck around. Damso survived Jessyville and set the benchmark time of 40 minutes and 16 seconds. It seems like Lady Luck has decided to latch onto the BP Ultimate Polo of Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson. Not only did Keen puncture a wheel on stage 2, but the wheel nut got stuck, wasting even more valuable time. On Jessyville, a rare wrong slot cost the pair a further 2 minutes and forced them to finish the day in an unaccustomed 11th overall, around 8 minutes behind the overnight leaders.
I don't know where we are, Enzo. Left 2 rough and right 2. No, we're not on the wrong road, Enzo. We're completely on the wrong road here.
No, we had a wrong slot and we lost another 2, so, but it looks like we had some kind of a problem here.
With Cronje out of the equation, for now anyway, it was time for Hergen Vecken and Pierre Harris to put the hammer down. Like the great drivers of the past, Vecken is extremely good in targeting specific stages in which to launch his attack. In 2008, he dominated proceedings through Jessyville, and 2009 would be no different. The BP Ultimate Polo blasted through the 60 kilometers in a stage-winning time of just 38 minutes and 46 seconds, again making Jessyville his own and taking command of the rally.
Into left 7 over lock. Into left 2. Water splash. Turn off right 9. 100 crest mid.
Hard work.
That was pushing, eh? We were pushing.
On stages like these, rallies are often won or lost. This is something that Jan Habig and Douglas Judd know all too well. The BP Ultimate Polo pushed hard on Jezebel, entertained the crowds as only they know how, and crossed the flying finish in a time of 39 minutes and 5 seconds. It was fast, but still 19 seconds slower than Fecken. Championship points leaders Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh were the next ones to try and improve on their current third position. A large deficit after day one will almost be impossible to erase on day two, so the Castrol Toyota Auris pushed hard, but a puncture forced him to stop and change the flat tire. 2 minutes later, the Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru of Charles Wilken and Greg Godrich flew past the Spicken Auris. And then Gemmell got going again. With Gemmell now chasing the leading production car in the stage, one couldn't help but to remember an incident during the 2008 VW rally when this happened. The Castrol Toyota struck the Subaru while forcing its way through. Although Wilken was pushing hard, he knew that the S2000 machine is much faster, and when the Castrol Toyota Auris appeared in their rearview mirror, the production car champions pulled over to let Gemmell pass. Gemmell reached the end of Jezebel, but nearly 3 minutes were lost.
No, he let us pass there. We had a flat, we had to stop and change the wheel.
A short while later, Wilken also appeared at the end of Jezebel, setting the 6th fastest overall time in the process.
Johnny stopped, and as he got going again, we pulled over a bit later for him to pass, and just looked after the car.
After losing around 10 minutes on stage 2, Jaapie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton had very little to lose in their new Africa Developments Toyota Runnix. Van Niekerk was on a charge back up the leaderboard and flew through Jezebel in a time of 40 minutes and 8 seconds to set the 3rd fastest time of all. The Total Evolution Toyota Runnix of Fernando Rueda and Cobus Frey was the next car into Jezebel, and as with so many times before, Jezebel had the final say. For the 2nd time this year, the Spaniard was left without any gears.
This is how people actually lose rallies, and you get out of rallies. There is the normal spring, and that's the spring that came out of my gearbox. As you can see, all it's done is collapsed by 5 millimeters. The gearbox was perfectly fine. Gearbox only got neutrals.
Traditionally, the Rally of South Africa is tough on rally cars with a high attrition rate. And so far, this year's been no different. Names like Kuhn, Van Niekerk, Du Plessis and now also Rueda are already missing from the top of the leaderboard. But it does provide an opportunity for more gravel road warriors to chase good results and to feature near the top of the leaderboard.
Although not on rally-winning pace yet, Theuns Joubert and Henny Botha are having a dream season in their debut year in the S2000 Salom Group VW Polo. Joubert has finished every event so far this season, and after surviving day one of the tough Rally of South Africa, he was on course to repeat his previous performances. Not only did Joubert survive day one, but he also set the 5th fastest time over Jezebel and completed the day in a career-best 5th position overall. Nicholas Ryan and Jeff Tyrer missed the rally earlier this year due to budget constraints, but the unsponsored Toyota Runnix was back on the stages of the Rally of South Africa. Ryan is still in a battle with himself to get his confidence back after a serious accident in Port Elizabeth last year and another one just 2 events later, and now found himself in a safe 8th position overall after the 3 stages on day one. South Africa's very own rally chicks or sisters Lola and Megan Verlaak had a rare appearance in the Sasol South African Rally Championship. For 2009, the siblings have their sights set on the African Championship, but still decided to enter the S2000 Volkswagen Polo. Verlaak had a number of stalls, but survived the day to finish in 14th position overall.
After only 3 stages, but nearly half of the rally distance something of the past, Hergen Fecken once again takes control of the event. Teammate Jan Habig is second, but 34 seconds back, followed by JP Damso. Charles Wilken is the only production car left in the field and in 4th ahead of Theuns Joubert. Jezebel Troubles drops both Castrol Toyotas down into 6th and 7th positions respectively.
Behind the leading S2000 and M4 machines, South Africa's up-and-coming drivers were displaying their talent while involved in their own fierce battles for respective class honours. Class A7 for front-wheel drive rally cars with an engine capacity of 2 litres is one of the last steps before entering the big time. These cars are not much slower than S2000 machines, although having only front-wheel drive proved to be a big disadvantage on these slippery stages. Northern Region's rally champions Schalk Burger Jr. and Armand de Tooy won the last outing in their USN Spike Energy Drink Toyota Corolla, but failed to finish the first day of the Rally of South Africa. The Corolla broke a suspension component in stage 2, ending their quest for another Class A7 win. Michael Otto is also a former regional rally champion, but unfortunately for Otto and navigator Tommy de Tooy, their run of bad luck continued in the Mpumalanga forests. The Liqui Moly Toyota Corolla ran out of fuel on the long Jessievale stage, ending their Rally of South Africa challenge. Coming into this event, Special Vehicles off-road racing champion Evan Hutchison and navigator Alvin Coetzee were tied for the Class A7 championship, thanks to a consistent season so far. But unfortunately for the Team Motorrad Toyota Runnix crew, trouble struck early on in stage 3.
This fire after the plug is out, and we've got a fuel leak.
Chris de Wit and Dean Redlinghuis are the current and defending Class A7 champions, but failed to finish a single rally up to now. The Team Total Evolution squad was desperate to turn their season around and started well by setting very competitive stage times. De Wit has had very little time behind the wheel this season, but still managed to finish a tough day one, just 18 seconds behind the class leaders and in 10th position overall. That lead belonged to the Pan RC's Volkswagen Polo of Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke. Wilken won his class on the first 2 rallies of 2009, but crashed out of the previous round, so the talented youngster was eager to return to his winning ways. Wilken not only led Class A7, but drove rapidly to also occupy 9th on the overall leaderboard. Class A6 for front-wheel drive cars up to 2 litres is a battlefield for a trio of Team Total Evolution Toyotas. Craig Trott is a Class A6 veteran and multiple class champion. Mohamed Musa is an up-and-coming rally star and the pace setter so far this season. And Rodney Versaghi is a multiple Class N3 champion. Trott and Robbie Coetzee have proved that you don't have to win every stage or rally to become a champion. And once again, Trott drove consistently to reach the end of a tough day one, albeit more than 2 minutes behind the class lead. Rodney Versaghi and Callan Swan were driving hard as always. It is Versaghi's first year behind the wheel of the Class A6 Runnix after upgrading from his Class N3 Runnix at the start of this season. Versaghi is also a serious contender for Class A6 honours, but found himself more than a minute behind the class leader. And that lead belonged to none other than Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin. Musa is rising rapidly through the ranks thanks to the combination of his sheer speed and talent, as well as the superior performance of the Total Evolution Aurus. So far this season, that combination has been the one to beat, and on the opening 3 stages of the Rally of South Africa, this trend continued with Musa setting the class pace on all 3. Class A5 for City Golfs and Toyota Yaris's is the first step on the long rally ladder, and therefore filled with young talent. They start them young in this class, like 16-year-old Cape Townian Ashley Haig Smith. He doesn't even have a legal driver's license yet, but together with Hilton Orphy in the hot seat, even managed to win the first stage in their Team the Act Toyota Yaris. Vusi Mabanga and Sean Fisser in their Total Evolution Yaris were fresh from their maiden class win on the previous rally and drove well to occupy 4th at the end of day 1. Team Sassel's Riyad Jaffer and Henry Dearlove have found the going tough so far this year and even rolled down a mountain during round 3 of the championship. But so far in the Rally of South Africa, the former circuit racing driver kept it together to finish the day in 3rd. Former class champions Gugu Zulu and Carl Peskin were once again fighting for the class lead in their BP Ultimate City Golf after their teammates and current class champions Andre Kleinberg and Des de Fortier crashed out of the rally. But Zulu could do no better than 2nd at this stage of the rally. That was because Piet Bakkers and Paul van Wyk put in a blistering performance in their Komatipoort Sasol Volkswagen City Golf. Bakkers made a welcome return to Class A5 rallying and dominated both stages 2 and 3, taking nearly a minute off his rivals on the long Jessievale alone and ending day 1 with a more than comfortable 2-minute lead. Sadly, Class N3 is not well supported this season, with only 2 entries making the journey to Ermelo for the Rally of South Africa. The Ford Fiesta of Tony Barbosa and Kenny Hill survived day 1, but as on all 3 events so far this season, Class N3 was all about the Sasol Toyota Runnix of Dave Compton and Pierre Jordan. Compton is another circuit racer who made the switch to dirt road rallying, and although he has little or no competition in the class, he is impressing everyone with his speed. Compton completed day 1 in 16th position overall.
The Jessie Vale survivors return to Ermelo for a well-earned rest as day 1 of the demanding rally of South Africa comes to an end.